What's up YouTube, this is GalacticGod, and I'm coming at you today with my Hero Gate deck profile. This of course is the same Hero Gate deck that I've been using in all my duel videos up on DevPro that I have on my channel, so if you haven't already checked out those videos, please do so. I actually got quite a good positive response from them. A lot of people really seem to dig the idea of the Hero Gate deck, and I was kind of a little overwhelmed really with how much people wanted to see the deck list and everything. I thought it was kind of cool. Anyhow, so I'm going to go ahead and jump right into this. I'm going to go over a few of the combos, but basically there's a lot of videos already showcasing what the deck can do, and I'm going to kind of let those mostly speak for themselves. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into things. Alright, so here we go. You'll kind of notice that there is very low monster count in this deck. I guess that's kind of true with most hero decks. They don't usually run a lot of monsters because you have so much searchability that you can just go in and grab the monsters from your deck with all your search cards. Some notable cards that you're going to notice aren't in here would include stuff like Neo's Alias. I tried him out at first, but I think he's really good for more of a Gemini beat because he's really a good beat stick on his own, and I never wanted to get him off the field because I had Gemini Sparks in my hand and I wanted to plus off the Gemini Spark, and so it just was, I think it was conflicting a little bit with what I wanted the deck to do, and so I thought the easiest way was just to take him out completely. Typically I'm not attacking straight up with the monsters, I'm just using them to go into bigger fusion monsters really fast, and so since I'm doing that, I don't really think I need the Neos aliases that much. Plus I already have Voltics in there to take care of my light aspect to bring out the shining, so if I'm using them to bring out the shining, I really don't need aliases either. You can try them out with them and see how you feel with them, see how you like them. Other ones I've tried out before were kind of a rabbit build where I'd use a lot of the normal hero monsters. I didn't think that worked out too well. I kept drawing too many normal hero monsters, and I'm not playing the Electrum OTK, so it wasn't really working out for me either. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and run through the monsters. We of course got our 1 Elemental Hero Stratos. We have our 3 copies of Elemental Hero Voltic. This is probably our main win condition card of the deck. He's definitely the heart and soul of it. From there we have 3 copies of Elemental Hero Ice Edge. This card is really kind of cool. It works really good in this deck. Allows me to just kind of get over their back row and just kind of destroy it, especially if he's already out of play because of an absolute 0 fusion summon, and then you can go in with Voltic, hit directly, and then bring in Ice Edge, hit directly, and you know, destroy their back row. And if it's Bottomless or something like that, which is usually a lot of times what they have set back there, it's kind of cool. Then from there we're playing 3 copies of Elemental Hero the Heat, and then 2 copies of Elemental Hero Wildheart, and that's going to run up my monster count for the deck. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and go into the spells. We're playing 3 copies of the Fusion Gate field spell. This of course is probably one of our main win conditions of the deck, is getting this card out will allow us to bring out all of our big monsters. Because of that, we are playing 3 copies of Terraforming. Allow us to find our Fusion Gate as fast as possible. As you've seen in some of the duel videos, having 3 and 3 can be cloggy at times, but I feel that it's necessary because if you don't have a Fusion Gate, it's really kind of hard to get your deck going. We're also playing 2 copies of Parallel World Fusion. The only really drawback to this card is that the only special summon you can do the turn that you play Parallel World Fusion is the fusion that you make with this card. So you can't go for a huge herpy-derpy play. But if you just need to bring out another big beater to kind of push for game because you already have 1 or 2 fusions out, or if you're top decking and you top deck into this, it's really a nice card to see. We're also playing 2 copies of Miracle Fusion, kind of the twin brother, I guess if you will, of Parallel World Fusion. Definitely a much better card. Normally I would want to play 3 in a hero deck, but we are playing Macrocosmos, so a lot of time our heroes are going out of play, so I don't like playing with 3. I tried it with 0 before, I've tried it with 1, and I felt like I wasn't just drawing it enough when I needed to. If you don't have your Fusion Gate, I should say if you don't have your Macrocosmos, a lot of times your fusion monsters themselves are going to end up in the graveyard, like your Shining or whatnot, and then you can go ahead and go for another play with Miracle Fusion that way until you get your macro actually out. From there we got our search cards like Reinforcement of the Army, our 2 E-Calls, 2 Pot of Dualities. I'm playing 2 Forbidden Lances just so that, I can get over more stronger elements they try and Dark Hole or something, I can get around that too. Plus, I'm not playing heavy or any MSTs, you know, so this is kind of my protection in case of the back row. Although most of the time, you know, them getting rid of a monster does not really bother me too much because they just kind of recycle themselves. And then from there, we got Dark Hole and Monster Reborn to kind of round up the spells. Alright, so for traps, we do play a little bit of protection, mostly because we need to protect ourselves until we can get to either our fusion gates or our macro or something like that to kind of get the ball rolling with the deck. So for that, we're playing 2 copies of Bottomless Trap Hole, a Solemn Warning, Torrential Tribute, Compulse, Mirror Force, and Deep Prison. I have kind of an eclectic mix of all the top tier traps, I guess you could say, just to kind of handle any kind of situation. When you go into game 2 or game 3 with your side deck, you can side out what works and what doesn't work against the deck that you're playing with. But I kind of like having a wide variety to start with, so that no matter what deck I'm playing against, at least I have something in there that's probably going to work. And then from there, I'm playing 2 copies of Macrocosmos. A lot of people are really surprised to see Macrocosmos in a hero deck, but I think it works awesome in this deck, especially with Voltic. So much synergy with that card. I think it's just awesome. Anyhow, so that's the trap card lineup. So for extra deck, we're of course playing 3 copies of Elemental Hero the Shining. Probably our #1 card that we're going to go into. A lot of people don't like Shining if you're playing Macro, but a lot of times before you get Macro out, Shining you can still get his effect to get the monsters back. Plus, even if you're not going to get the Shining's effect, you're just sending all your hero monsters out of play constantly, you're going to be pulling out the Shining at 4,000 or even 5,000 plus, and that's just really hard for your opponent to get over. I mean, they only have so much monster removal, and when you're constantly dropping another one out, sending it back to the extra deck with Parallel World Fusion, then dropping it again, it's pretty awesome, really. From there, we're playing 2 copies of Elemental Hero Absolute Zero. Just overall really awesome. Doesn't matter if he goes out of play or not, you're still going to get his effect. And we've got rounding up the rest of our elements of hero fusions. Gaia, Nova, Masters, Escuridao, and then Tornado. And then I also have the Vision Hero Adoration. I think this is kind of cool because it can go any 2 hero monsters that you have that you need to make something. You just make a kind of a good strong beater. I've used his effect a couple times. I think even in some of the duel videos that I have up on my channel, it kind of worked out for me pretty well. And I kind of like that he's just so generic that any of my 2 monsters can make him. I think that's pretty awesome too. From there, we got our extra deck Exceed monsters. We have Heroic Champion Excalibur, Photon Papilloperative, Gagaga Cowboy, I'm sorry, number 50 Blackship of Corn, and Maestroke to kind of round up the extra deck. Alright, so I'm going to kind of go over just a couple of the combos really quick. I'm not going to go too in-depth in them. There's a lot of duel videos out there of me using the deck already and utilizing a lot of the combos, so please go check them out if you haven't already. I'm going to have links to all those duels down in the description bar below. So this is going to be a quick little OTK. So let's say your opponent has maybe a few monsters out on the field, but they don't really have any spell or traps in the backfield. You can start by go ahead and playing your Fusion Gate field spell card. From there, you're going to activate Fusion Gate's effect. I would send maybe Stratos and Elemental Hero Ice Edge out of play to special summon out your Absolute Zero. From there, I'm going to go ahead and activate Fusion Gate's effect again to go ahead and send my Voltic and Absolute Zero out of play to bring in the Shining. Now it's going to go ahead and destroy all of your opponent's monsters on their side of the field. Now I have 4 Elemental Heroes out of play right now, so that should boost the Shining's attack up to 3,800. So then we're going to go ahead and normal summon Elemental Hero Voltic. What we're going to do first is go ahead and attack with the Shining. That should do 3,800 damage. Then we're going to attack with Voltic, doing another 1,000, bringing the total up to 4,800. The Voltic's effect is going to activate, allowing us to special summon another Voltic. We're going to go ahead and then attack with this Voltic, doing Voltic's effect is going to trigger again, allowing us to special summon out an Elemental Hero Stratos from our out of play section. Then Stratos effect is going to activate. We're going to go ahead and grab any hero we want, add it to our hand. We're then going to go ahead and attack with Stratos, doing 1,800 points of damage, bringing it up to 7,600 damage that you've done so far. From there, you can go ahead and go into main phase 2 and overlay into Gagaga Cowboy. You can then detach and do your final bit of damage to your opponent to OTK them in 1 turn. Alright, and there you have it, YouTube. That was my Hero Gate deck profile. Please check out the dual videos featuring this deck. Once again, there's going to be links to them down in the description bar below. Also, let me know what you think of the deck down in the comment section. I'm always looking for any kind of helpful, constructive criticism on how to improve the deck. Anything like that is always most welcome. And I guess that's about it for now. This is GalacticGod, out.